In our Black in America 2 documentary, we focused on, in fact, you saw a little clip of it a moment ago. That was Steve Perry. He is the principal and founder of Capital Prep School, which is located in West Hartford, Connecticut. And the demographics in West Hartford are the classic inner-city poor neighborhood. Graduation rates for young boys to high school boys is somewhere around 29%. 50% of the kids drop out, roughly. And when I sat down with Steve Perry, we talked about his science lab. I said, you know, you have no running water in your science lab. He said, that's correct. I said, you don't have any Bunsen burners? He said, no, we don't. I think I saw someone with a match once. I said, well, how do you do science? He said, we do what we have to do to get it done. And then we followed him as at 4:30 in the morning, he started picking up the students to bring them to school. He takes a bunch of his students to school. And I said to him, what frustrates you the most? And he talked about a lack of involvement from some of his parents, how often he and his teachers are the only ones there at a football game. And I said, it must be a very difficult sacrifice. He has 2 small children, 2 boys, like I do. And he said, I said, you know, it must be tough to do something, and this was the part you heard, to do it for somebody else's kids, to give up so much for somebody else's children. And he said what was key in that entire documentary, which was, I think of them as my children. They are my children. That is the entire point. There's a tremendous quote from Dante that goes like this: the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who in times of great moral crisis maintain their neutrality. That there is nothing worse than doing nothing and saying nothing when your voice is needed. That actually even being the perpetrator of something bad is less bad than being the person who stands by at a moment when you could lead and make change and just decide not to. To me, that is the definition of taking courage.